I mean, I think Javi's just pitched well. I mean, that's number one. Whether it be starting, and then since he's moved to the bullpen, he's just pitched really well. He's gotten outs. He's gotten outs in important spots. He's covered us with length. He's made important starts against tough lineups. So he's pitched extremely well. He's really had. I was looking at it today. He's had 2 bad outings, and the rest has been really, really good. So he's been a big part of piecing it together, and not always doesn't have to be in a completely traditional way that we've pieced it together, but he's been a big part of piecing it together in a good way.
What's it like for you to have a player like that who not only can do all those different things, but do them well, and then not complain about it, be willing to do whatever you ask them?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of guys that are doing that, and I think, this is about this is how you put together good teams. I think it's, it's not always going to be like this cookie cutter. This is how it's going to be in terms of roles, and I think you have to prepare for it not to be that way, and you have to understand that it's not going to be that way. There's too much thinking that it just has to be that way. It's not going to be that way. Not going to be that way for a baseball season for a good team. So you're going to need players to do that, and I think we've had a number of guys, whether it be Colin Ray, whether it be David Peterson, that understand that, and Edward Cabrera moving forward is going to have to do that. So there's going to be more guys that are going to have to do that.
How much does your experience from the last 10 years allow you to have a better handle on things right now through the end of the year, as opposed to when you first started managing a baseball team? In particular, bullpen situations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I always think there's sometimes there's advantages to not having an experience, but now that I have it, I like it, kind of thing. So, you get decisions come across your desk, new things you've had before, and you try to do the best by your team and your players. And that's, when you have experience, you certainly rely on past successes and failures. That's the advantage of it. But hopefully, I think the challenge of it is to not let it box you into a certain way of thinking.
Craig talked last night about the consistency that you guys are playing with in the second half, and comparing it to early hot streaks, early cold streaks. What have you noticed from a consistency standpoint? Is it kind of at the level where you think it needs to be?
Yeah, I mean, you never get it doesn't matter how it's been. It's about where it's going. So it's we've got to, and you've got to prove that and compete your way into that every day. Yeah, I mean, we played a good baseball game last night. Let's go out and play a good baseball game today, and not get too far past that. Got an off day tomorrow. That's a good thing for a lot of guys. But the consistency of it is it's today. Last night's over, and now it's today. Go win a baseball game.
Do you have a team that's unconventional in the way that it can win a lot of baseball games with being out homer? Can you get outslugged, and do you see your team as a team that can still win those games?
I mean, I think we are going to need some hit home runs to win on a consistent basis, but I think on a one-off night, yeah, absolutely. I think we are skilled. We have enough other. We're a good team because we have multiple ways to win games. So I think there's some occasions, yeah, you can win without, with being outslugged. Over the long haul, probably not. Yeah.
Plan for Palencia on Friday.
Yeah, Daniel will be active on Friday. Yeah.
And then will Dansby go on the road with you guys, or what's his?
Dansby is not going to go on this road trip. He's just just with multiple travel things in the first 10 days of this injury. We're gonna keep him in Chicago for the week, and then we have kind of limited travel after that, so that should be good. Yeah.
What's the latest with Milner? Is there anything new with Harvey at all too?
Milner is pitching tomorrow in Toledo with Iowa. Harvey, we're not in a great place with Harvey. He's struggling to kind of get going, and so we are running out of time there. And the next couple of days should tell us what direction we're going there.
I have a Boyd question. Do you view him as the guy at the top of your rotation, your number one, in as much as you have one? Is there such a thing?
Yeah, I don't. I would say we don't have that, and I don't think many teams do. I think there are some teams that do. We don't, and so we've got 5 guys that are going to be starting at time. We've got probably 8 or 9 guys that can start. I think we're just the way we look at it. We're pretty flat in terms of that, and we've got we're going to have some decisions at some point with that. But right now, I don't think I would consider anybody that.
What's the luxury of having not just the talent of Pedro, but when you're moving Nico over to short and you have Alex, who said last night on the broadcast he thinks he's a future superstar. What's the luxury of having 2 veterans like Alex and Nico to mentor a talent like Pedro?
Well, I think why everybody's talk so highly of Pedro is because they see someone who, and this is a compliment, who doesn't need much mentoring. And that's a statement about Pedro's maturity, about his instincts for the game. Mentoring still goes on regardless of your age. But I think that's really the compliment that's to Pedro, is that he just doesn't need much, because he's come here with kind of a high level of game awareness and maturity that you just don't see that often in players of that age.
Is Cabrera's spot in rotation still to be determined?
David Peterson's going to be involved on Saturday.
You didn't say he started.
You're right.
Ben Brown stay with you guys or no?
Ben Brown is he's going to Arizona. He's throwing a live on Friday, so facing hitters on Friday, which is a good step, big step.